Wait for it. We may, in fact, now be live, but we'll just check that we're live on all platforms. Dave, what are you eating?
I'm having a lovely homemade vegan rice pudding.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. And on that note, on that hot note, let's hit the intro. Yes, so hello and welcome to Slam Jam Championship Wrestling Show here on the Extreme Improv Xstreamed, as well as Slam Jam channels across all of the platforms. So wherever you're watching, click a follow, click a like, click a subscribe. Don't click your shoulder because it will give you arthritis later in life. But on the show tonight, we're going to be discussing, well, this weekend. It is a big head-to-head. I think the first ever pay-per-view weekend where two wrestling pay-per-views from AEW and WWE are on the same day, but AEW did back away, so they're not quite head-to-head. But there may be some overlap, I'm not sure. Probably will be some overlap. AEW shows usually run long. But we're going to find out what we think is going to happen at WrestlePalooza and All Out. But first of all, let's say hello to Dave. Say hello to the people.
Hello, people. How are you doing? I was wondering whether or not things are going to get so heated on this show that we end up quote tweeting each other and eventually challenging the others to a hair versus mask match, despite the fact that we wear masks.
Yeah. All right. Is that a reference to El Medio, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Ian, say hello to the people.
Hello to the people, and no hair versus mask here.
Okay. Nice. Now, I do have a mask somewhere about, but I can't reach it right now.
Well, so, if I can find my son El Hijo del Dave, I'll try and get his mask involved.
Okay, good. Right, so yes, it's all going down this weekend. We've got WrestlePalooza and we have All Out. Now, I've got the cards for both. Now, as is traditional, the WWE card is, there's 5 matches scheduled. If you go onto the lineup for All Out, there is 13 matches scheduled, although 3 of those are scheduled for the pre-show. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of wrestling coming up this weekend. What's on any of your minds, guys?
I mean, apart from the good wrestling cards that are coming up for this weekend, I think as you got from my thing, my attention has been mostly on Andrade and his release from WWE and seemingly trying to instigate some kind of feud with MJF online involving Mexico and all this other bits and pieces that seems to be very unusual. And the circumstances around his release seem a bit unusual too.
There's more things creeping out about it, isn't there?
Okay, so what is creeping out? Because I saw that Andrade was no longer with WWE or something, and I didn't care. So I don't think I've really read up on this very much.
Well, he went AWOL, didn't he, down in South America? And WWE were trying to... Apparently the plan was for him and Rey Fenix to fight the Wyatts at Clash, which of course ended up being the Street Profits. But Andrade just stopped showing up and wouldn't answer his phone. I've read other things about him being sort of suddenly turning up to an event and then basically being asked to leave. There may have been a wellness thing in there as well that's also doing the rounds, but it's all hearsay.
You're right, Dave. Don't choke on us here.
I'm all right, buddy.
He's so choked up over the loss of Andrade El Idolo.
Well, he's made a rod for his own back, really, hasn't he? Because he left AEW in not the best circumstance. Wasn't there something about him basically trying to fight someone to get himself fired?
Oh, was he? So didn't he try to have a brawl with? Was it Sammy Guevara?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
And so now he's left that company under a bit of a cloud, come back to a WWE and done the sum total of nothing, and now has left WWE under even a bigger cloud. So maybe his tweeting at MJF is just a desperate attempt for something, because he's now going to be...
He'll be fine. He's got so many options. He can go to Ring of... Oh, wait. Well, he can go to Triple... Oh, no, wait. Well, there is TN... Oh, no, wait.
Yeah.
Well, there's kind of not... CMLL it is...
CMLL or bust, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's obviously problems there because I don't know what exactly the political landscape is, but a lot of the time CMLL will not touch certain talent if they are majorly affiliated with AAA, which Andrea I think was. And so, because remember when they were doing when AAA, before they got bought up, really they were doing quite a fair bit of business with AEW back in the time, because when Kenny Omega was the mega champion, wasn't he? For a little bit, and so I think his sort of leniency towards any Mexican company might have a few cross wires as well. I guess there's New Japan. He has been there before under a mask, so he may do that. Of course, there's always MLW.
Do you know, like, I saw a thing a couple of weeks ago about MLW where it's like, you know, they're going to try to have a weekly show again. I was like, when did they stop having a weekly show? You know, but it's a shame. Like, there was this time just before AEW started, there was the return of the NWA, and it was like MLW's a thing, and Ring of Honor was suddenly trying to do Madison Square Garden, and the landscape has completely changed. And TNA was nothing. You know, and now all of a sudden TNA is fighting for second position, and and all these others have kind of been absorbed or vanished.
TNA has become the proxy soldier in the AEW WWE war.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, Dev, by the way.
Hello.
Talking Andrade, that's another thing that's actually on the cusp as well, because they did the NXT Homecoming show the other night, and one of the big things that's come out of that is they're doing a TNA title versus NXT title match next week between Trick Williams and Obafemi, and obviously it's been planned to do so, but just about every TNA talent were tweeting out.
It was very busy, wasn't it?
This is what's going on, and we're sick of them ruling us. So next Tuesday is more than likely that's going to end up in a no contest, because the entire TNA roster are going to invade.
Yeah. Dev, go on.
I was going to say, they probably delayed the TNA invasion to next week, because I just imagine Moose showing up at NXT, seeing Triple H, being like, understandable, have a nice day, and just leave, like, turning back and going back to TNA.
I don't quite understand the context.
If they did the invasion this week, they would have got beaten up by everyone.
Well,
so
yeah. Because they had all of the.
I see. So they're waiting for all the main roster guys to go.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
That would have been a bit too much. That would have been like that ECW joins WCW episode of Raw, wouldn't it? Where everything happened on the one edition of Raw, which you know at the time was like, oh my god, this is the best edition of Raw I've ever seen. Then in hindsight, you're like, they could have eked that out over a few weeks. It's like,
Well, I was going to say that talking of all this TNA coming over thing is, I was going to use the phrase "poor man's invasion angle," but the original invasion angle was so poor, I can't even use that phrase. You know, maybe it'll be the best invasion.
Let's wait till it happens before we decide which one the poor man's version was.
The best invasion that happened was an accident because of the flight issues, and NXT had to invade SmackDown.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay,
But,
so guys, let's talk. Well, we can talk about what's happened, because obviously, yeah, they brought them all back for. I saw this one clip, which and apparently there was like a tech issue, but where like Bobby Roode walks backstage, and he just sort of tilted his head to deafening silence, and I was like, that, and apparently it was a pre-tape, but. If it wasn't, like, the thing was, the story of it not being pre-tape is him listening, hearing nothing, and it still works. It still works as, like, shit.
It was like a Zelina Vega entrance on SmackDown.
Yeah.
It was that quiet.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, but,
And then Joe Hendry coming in, also to no reaction almost. You just hear a little bit of a... But apart from that, it's just Joe just staring creepily into the camera.
So
I love that segment for the wrong reason, because you had the two TNA guys have a conversation, and Charlie Dempsey in the background being like, "Why are you guys here? What's going on?"
That's a little bit of a running gag with him, but he's apparently going to Noah for a month, so he'll have a bit of time to relax and recoup while he's over there and do his natural wrestling, which will be good for him. But yeah, it was. I saw this thing. I don't know if it comes up on your guys' Facebook pages, but because I ostensibly am interested on social media in wrestling, cat videos and aviation videos. So that's basically what comes
wait,
up.
what was the third one?
Aviation.
Aviation.
Yeah.
Is it in that order?
So, I guess so. I'd imagine so.
Okay.
But that seems to be what comes up on my feed a lot. But there was these random Facebook like news pages, these wrestling news pages that come up on my thing. And one I saw today was the NXT that bewildered Van Storts. Had a list of like 5 things that were confusing about this whole thing, and saying, "Oh, Charlotte and Alexa were just there for no reason. Why were they there?" And someone in the comments went, "They had an advertised tag team title match."
Right.
And things like also going, "Oh, why did what's his name suddenly? Why is Finn Balor suddenly a good guy and attacking this bad guy, and this other guy, a good guy is attacking the bad guy from behind?" It's like, if you actually watch the show, you will actually understand. And also, it's Full Sail. Finn's gonna get a big pop, so they might as well just gone with it. So yeah, it was a bit of a bizarro land episode in that respect, but it just highlighted to me how crap wrestling news pages are on Facebook. These random ones that come up you're not even following.
Oh yeah, so on Facebook, my experience, because I get shown the thing that annoys me with Facebook is anyone I'm actually connected to, I might see 1 out of 30 posts.
It's like 5%, isn't it?
It's like I'm just becoming disconnected from everyone because I'll see like, and it feels like they're fake pages where it'll be like a wrestling thing, where it'll be like some deep story, and I'll be like, "Oh, what's this? I didn't know this." And it'll just, when I fact checked a few of these, it's like this is completely fabricated. So it's really bizarre with wrestling on Facebook in particular.
And the comment sections of those pages are becoming as toxic and tribalistic as anything I've seen on X. Like, it's just
that comment section made me realize how I can monetize the internet so well by starting a like faction war between WWE and AEW, because the like Facebook and Instagram and stuff, paper interactions, all you have to do is start a fight in the comment section, and they'll be going for the rest of eternity. Okay,
let me give you this example, because I found this with scrolling within like 12 seconds. And this is from a page, I'll give them a plug, because why not? 2000s Wrestling. And it says, "Nah, man, I've lost respect for Jake the Snake Roberts today." And you're like, "Oh, what's Jake up to?" "I used to respect Jake a lot. He was like a father figure to my neighbors." Who wrote this? "But after seeing his latest statements about John Cena and WWE, man, I am so disappointed. Never expected this from someone like Jake, especially for John Cena in this era. Is this because of Jake's past with AEW or what?" It doesn't tell you at all what he supposedly said.
It's clickbait, right?
It is, but like then the weird thing is it's got 463 comments, 327 reactions, 21 shares, and I'm like, I'm sure none of those are real. I just don't understand what's happening on Facebook with it.
I'll give it 50% real because people like to argue on Facebook. Like, they're literally favorite pastime is arguing on Facebook. So the comments might be real.
I have to say as well, David, I misheard you. You said shares. I heard chairs and thought it was some wrestling-themed social media interaction I wasn't familiar with. It's like chair shot.
We should make
Is that
that thing.
AEW clip with all the chairs?
We don't do shares, we do chairs.
Like chair
Oh my god,
subscribe.
okay. Tables, ladders, and shares. I've got to think of a way to make that part of the marketing of this.
I was
Tables,
going
ladders,
to say
and
a
shares.
certain amount of shares on the Facebook post, and you just get a GIF of John Cena dropping all those chairs on Wade Barrett.
Yes, yeah.
Is it? And then look, this is the other one. Now this one says viral videos, but why am I being shown this about wrestling? And it says most gimmick changes, the masters of reinvention.
Oh,
I wish I could show this on the
Probably
screen.
Jericho, isn't it?
Hang on. No, but you can't take this seriously. Because I'm going to tell you what it shows from right to left. On the top row, it says Mick Foley, Kevin Nash, Dustin Rhodes, and then it says Charles Wright. And this is why it's clearly clickbait. So even if you can't see it, you can tell what's wrong with it.
Who's that?
Exactly. And I'm seeing these all the time. But it's just like it's got some random person there who obviously isn't. I'm going to see if I can share this. And then bring it up.
Isn't that crazy? Where they'll say like, "Oh, you won't believe what so and so looks like."
Yeah.
In that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
in the thumbnail, it's like some out of all proportion, crazy cartoon image.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if I can get this link very quickly. Let's see if I can drag that away. Yeah. Okay. Good. Right. So, but yeah, it's just like. I don't understand what's happening with like Facebook in particular. It's everything is fake. Nothing's a real anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Let's close that there, and let's open it here so we can screen share it. Give them the publicity. But here we see Charles Wright. It's like, who is that guy?
That's the oh my godfather.
Yeah, it is. And they led with that image as well, but I'm seeing so many of these. It's like the current thing at the moment. Put something so blatantly wrong.
Yeah.
All the names check out. Justin Hawk, JBL, Blackjacks, Reaper Man.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, so bizarre. So bizarre. I don't get it. But like absolutely everything on wrestling Facebook is like that for me at the moment. So be warned, because it will spread.
Yeah. Before we go on to like the talking about the weekend shows and everything like that, I'll say something I meant to say on a previous show. But my wife discovered this. She's got this discovery of getting really annoyed when celebrities release books and things like that, and people are like, because she's a writer herself, and she's writing a book at the moment, and the very point of someone who's just a writer getting a book deal and things like that is incredibly rare these days. Things like that, and a lot of people release books, but especially children's books at the moment. It's quite a plethora of books. So she discovered recently this book called in a series called Step Into Reading. It's a book called Elbow Grease: Teamwork Wins by John Cena.
What?
Wow.
Not actually John Cena, though,
John
right?
Cena has released a children's book.
No, actually, John Cena.
Or is that John Cena, which is what the
John Cena?
John Cena and Brock Lesnar.
John Cena.
No, it says on the description, a fun and fast-paced leveled reader from multi-talented mega celebrity John Cena.
Wow.
And what's the book called?
It's called Elbow Grease.
Wow.
And so he's got a thing that says all about rhyming and rhythmic text paired with picture clues.
He wrote a bunch. He wrote like loads.
Well, it's just Disney's cars.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I just added it to the basket. Didn't mean to do that.
Buy it. Okay.
No. But yeah, no. It was just at the end of the thing said, "I've lost it now." Don't worry.
So, did you see Raw with John Cena saying about that he's still the what's the term that he calls himself, the last champion, and he justified it.
The last real champion.
Now, especially with them announcing, and I can't remember if this was announced in time for last week's show. Or, I don't know if there was a show. Oh no, because I was had the show in London. So yeah, so WrestleMania, in not this upcoming year, but the next one is going to be in Saudi Arabia, and I think John Cena is going to wrestle at it. That's my prediction now.
I really hope so, because I think it would be just the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
And the most ridiculous epitome of money talks, and Saudi money talks louder. It'll be the silliest retirement, non-retirement since Foley, when he retired at No Way Out and then was back, a month later?
Yeah. So with this though, I think I still believe that there is a chance that John Cena's face turn may be that they double back on it and be like, that's why I was still saying I'm the last real champ, because of something or other, and he'll turn heel again. But I think they're going to do something so his last match doesn't happen, The Rock turns on him, or he's injured, or something, so that he re-emerges at some point. I think because they've been milking this the whole year. So all they need to do is do some injury angle with him a week before his retirement match. And then it's like, so is that the end of John Cena now? And then...
Well, so we have thrice in a lifetime.
Thrice in a lifetime, yeah. Go on, Dev.
So, the Saudis have a list of people they want, and it's insane. They're already planning matches for Stone Cold and The Rock. Those two matches have been planned, but the rest of the names they want are insane.
Well, I heard that they wanted a rematch between Hogan and Andre, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do that one now.
Yeah, not that.
Yeah, they're just going for everything.
They want Goldberg, Bret Hart, Sting, Undertaker.
Where did you hear this?
Yeah, they want it. Well, I'm sure they want to.
On one of the Facebook pages.
Yeah, on the Facebook pages.
No. In the discussions leading up to the Mania, the Saudi government has requested those names. They literally.
It wouldn't surprise me if they have, but genuinely, they've probably been like, "Where's that Andre the Giant these days?" Genuinely.
Well, the first Saudi show, they wanted Warrior and Yokozuna.
Yeah, exactly.
And all these
So
other names. Yeah,
they got a Yokozuna lookalike, didn't they?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Who was that?
I don't know. Don't remember. Mark Henry eliminated him.
He turned up in the Greatest Royal Rumble, didn't he?
Yeah.
Wow, I've forgotten this.
Yeah, no,
exactly, because that's what the Saudi shows used to be, just infinitely forgettable mega house shows, and now we've got to sit through Mania.
And one match that they wanted that stood out was Edge versus Cena. They really want Edge versus Cena.
Well, what's interesting on that front is I saw an article today which was Edge saying about, oh, well, my retirement, I want it to be in Toronto, but it doesn't matter because I already had a big retirement. So he probably doesn't want to do a big retirement if he wants to get back to WWE somehow. But time will tell, I guess.
Yeah.
It would be nice if some of these names would just get the offer and say, no, stick up your ass. And then,
absolutely.
Not be so torn money. Cena has enough money. Taker has enough money. You don't need to be just utterly just dumping on their own legacies and things like that. And Taker's dumped on his own legacy well enough on his own. So let's not let another appearance in the ring do it.
And Shawn Michaels, who was in that Saudi.
Oh, did you? I think you're about to say the same thing.
Is that he's been on doing the rumor mill of maybe he'll be in the Saudi show as well, but I've read he's going to get double knee replacement or something.
Yeah, he is.
I'm kind of hoping for his sake he goes and does that and says, no, I'm good.
Something I read from about Shawn Michaels earlier today, and I only read it in passing, was just him saying that he considers his match with Undertaker as his actual retirement match. Wow. So, yeah, he knew there was a cash grab. Now, I was just looking to see if there was anything interesting coming up on wrestling Twitter. And this is... Sorry, Dave, this is obviously AI, but this image does need a slight... It does need a slight moment of appreciation just because it's a true story as well. It's like the happiest man on the planet, Dominic Mysterio.
Where's AJ?
What AJ's coming up on later. AJ will be there later. But never mind all these modern belt collectors. Dom is truly cashing in on the full fruits.
I don't mind that sort of AI because that's blatantly a fake, and it's clearly
that's
fake.
The truest thing we've seen all day, right? But yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Although speaking of belt collectors and Dom, Kenny Omega and Dom have now held the same title.
I know, it's major, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's actually mad.
Kenny Omega was never an Intercontinental Champion.
No, but he has held the Mega Champion thing.
Yeah. And the Mega Champion isn't a world champion.
But you know what? Is that kind of like... Do you remember when AJ Styles came in and they were like, a former IWGP champion? That's the same as Brock Lesnar held. And it's like, well, not really.
Is it though?
Is it though? You know, it's just a... Yeah. And it's like... There's sometimes where it's like someone's got a title and they try to make it seem as if that means they're on someone else's level. But like when like Dusty Rhodes was NWA champion, and then in like the mid-2000s when like Dan Severn and then whoever else was NWA champion, it's like Chris Hamrick or whoever like this. It's like that doesn't mean the same anymore for that belt. Or Tim Storm or whoever like was the NWA champion like 6 years ago. It's like the belt is meaningless nowadays.
Well, I guess it's an example of legacy diminishing. I wonder if the legacy of WrestleMania will start to diminish because they're getting so much money for this one. Are we just going to see WrestleMania in Saudi every year now? And there goes the legacy of 40 years of history.
And there goes the idea of them. Go on, Dave. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say. So they're doing Royal Rumble there this upcoming year, WrestleMania the next. I think they'll be like, to maintain the business, so that people don't like fall out of love with it, sort of thing. The next year will be like next year you get Survivor Series. The next year you'll get SummerSlam or something like this, and then they'll give them another WrestleMania, and they'll just be like, well, SummerSlam this year is WrestleMania, because this is where we're bringing back Goldberg again, this kind of thing. God, Dev.
I think they got, Saudi are going to get a big show every year, but they won't get the same big show every year.
Yeah,
so they will get WrestleMania, every year.
Yeah, it'll be Rumble and SummerSlam. Then WrestlePalooza 1 year.
Well, I think that Nick Khan has proven himself to be so laser focused on the money that if this WrestleMania performs as well as others or comparably to others, then he'll check. The Saudi deal is giving them, including all the 10-year deal that they signed, is giving them more money than they've earned for every single WrestleMania ever. That's including ticket sales, that's including merch, including rights fees and venues and everything. $1.5 billion they're making over.
Do you know what? I imagine that in a sense it's going to be a bought show then, so that WWE don't make more money on tickets or anything else after that. It's just we paid for this. What was that, Dave?
There's no gate for it. There's not going to be a gate for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's free.
No, but $250 million, outstrips any gate they would make anyway. So I'll be clear. I do not want this to happen.
No.
I think
we were so close to having it in the UK. So close. And
once they stripped it from New Orleans because they didn't pay enough money, and they sold it to the highest bidder in Vegas. That's now the precedent they've set for every year. It's not about rotating it culturally within the States or around the world. It's Nick Khan's bottom line, isn't it?
We should have known it wasn't going to happen when they came over to London for that meeting, and they gave the world's smallest championship belt to the mayor of London just to stand there. It's like they're not fully invested in bringing it to Wembley or something.
See, my problem is that the AEW now have the perfect opportunity right now to WrestleMania weekend hold the biggest American show in history.
in New Orleans,
Wow.
and invite all the
In
indie
New Orleans,
companies.
with all the smaller
and-
companies.
Yep.
Have like a original. What was that WCW event they had with like every small company doing one show, like
When
before
was it?
WrestleMania, like years ago, back in the 80s, the first collaboration show, like loads of small territories.
I don't know. So,
I think I know what you mean, but I can't remember what it's called.
They called it the precursor to WrestleMania. I can't remember what it was.
so is this going to be like a Clash of the Champions?
No, just have like an AEW like main show with showing people from like
Oh, no,
every
you
smaller
said
company.
the WCW show. I was trying to think of the name of that.
No. It was before. It was like all the territories had a match on the show.
I don't know. Off the
It's
top
like a
of my head.
showcase of all the smaller companies.
AEW shouldn't do that. Like AEW, that would just be sending a massive message that they need to. Because the thing of which people have been saying about WrestleMania not being in America is that all of the indie events that would hover around it, they could happen around an AEW show anyway. Because AEW for years there'd be a big AEW show and they'd do Starcast, and they could have like the conventions, and they could have a Ring of Honor show, and they could have, you know, GCW, and get all of these other things around them, and you could get one or two people to cross over like they've been doing Forbidden Door stuff anyway. But rather than say, oh, this is what I guess the original All In was, with Ring of Honor and Indies and New Japan and all that coming together, AEW have got this opportunity to put on a massive show to be like, we're for the people, you know, in America, and people and everyone that would fly over from England and Europe and whatever anyway for these massive shows that happen in America. And that's their opportunity, which I'm 100% in favor of AEW. Because if they announced it, it's like, hey, WWE are doing this, we think it's kind of mean-spirited and for the wrong reasons, they should announce it now. You know, and then see what WWE do. Because how could they be like, oh, they're counter-programming us. Well, we will do a WrestleMania in America as well. It's just like, they can't really.
Well, they tried to play that card already, didn't they? By saying, "Oh, we'll have a WrestleMania in Saudi, but we'll do one over here as well."
But have
Oh,
they,
really?
I don't think they've announced that though. That was the rumor.
Right.
So
but the
I mean,
Saudis
they could still announce that. So maybe Tony Khan is like, oh, if they hold back a load of people, they could still put. But you can't do a stadium show if you're gonna have Roman and stuff in Saudi Arabia, and Code is there and Punk is there. It's just like who is still here to actually call it a WrestleMania. What it would end up being is, do you remember when there was that Raw anniversary show and they had it in like a proper arena, and then they went to the first location where they had Raw, and it's just like they didn't bring anyone over. There was like no matches. People just sat there and watched the screen for the most part. That's what would happen. Go on, Dev.
I just looked it up. I meant the original NWA Starcade.
Oh yeah, so yeah,
in 1983.
Yeah. So Starcade, but see that was a super show. Like even the first WrestleMania wasn't a pay-per-view, crazy as it is to say. And then WWE, as soon as they basically was like, right, this is a pay-per-view thing, NWA at the time were like, we need this to be a pay-per-view, and Vince at the time was just like blocking it. It's like, if you take the NWA show, we're not giving these pay-per-view providers WrestleMania 2 or Survivor Series, which so it would have been WrestleMania 2 at the time. But yeah.
But no, they absolutely need to do something like that. They do the show and basically be the WWE position for that big WrestleMania weekend. 100%. Yeah. They absolutely need to do that.
Be the beacon that everybody goes to.
Sorry, I'm still talking about. Especially considering that the whole thing, like last week or week before, was us sort of discussing were AEW being too welcoming to go back on and put their show this weekend on a matinee show, because you're saying that they've sort of lost a bit of credibility in that respect. This is the chance to get that credibility back.
I 100% agree, because like a couple of weeks ago, and like I've said, like I'll it's fun to sort of poke fun at Tony Khan or whatever. This is the opportunity where I'm like, I'm all in on AEW taking this opportunity. Because the other weird thing that I've read over the last few days is, I can't remember if it came from Nick Khan or who did this quote, but someone inadvertently gave Vince McMahon another slight face turn where they were like, see, the problem with Vince is he was pricing things for families. And when you hear that, you're like, that's what you should be doing, you know.
Yeah.
Because the ticket prices obviously have gone crazy. And they no, go ahead. No, go ahead, Ian.
Well, I was just going to say that buys into the fan experience. Is, you know, what the four of us watch wrestling for, is we're fans of the thing, and that is so far from what Nick Khan's priority is. And so historically, for years, the talk of WrestleMania coming to the UK was a non-starter because of the time difference. Because putting a show on in GMT evening time is going to be really antisocial for the American audience. And they've shown with this Saudi thing, oh, well, yeah, but $250 million is what it is. So now you're just going to have to watch it at an unsociable time. So they're essentially saying, we don't care how well this does numbers-wise for the live watching audience, because they're already making their money from the Saudis. So the fans are the lowest on the totem pole than they've ever been.
One thing that I'd say fairness to them is that with the Saudi shows over the last few years, it was a way of them testing, well, will people still watch shows if they're on at a different time of day? And then I'd say something that AEW deserves credit for is that they straight away were like, well, we're going to do pay-per-views on a Saturday. And then WWE, unless it was like Taboo Tuesday, or like going back way in time to Thanksgiving Survivor Series, they were always on a Sunday.
Right.
And I think it's just over the last few years, they've been like, we can still do shows at other, like, pay-per-views, premium live events on other days and other times, and people will still watch them. So it has opened up that possibility that they could do. Again, look, it's just this sad image of what could have been the world's smallest WWE Championship. And honestly, like this image here, I said it looks like they've arrested him. It looks like we've got him. You know, he's trying to run off with this bracelet, and we've caught him. And it's such a shame. It was so close. Those photos just are going to be meaningless now.
That's supposed to be a belt. It's not even a watch.
Yeah.
It looks like AI has been used to, like, Photoshop has been used to shrink it down to make a statement.
Yeah. I wonder what the thinking behind that was. Because normally, like, they turn up for any sports team, and they've got a custom-made belt, and it's full size, and
maybe their suitcase was overweight, and they just had to. Well, we'll just slip the little one in. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they literally were like, "Did you bring the belt, Nick?" And he's like, "No, Triple H. I thought you brought. Quick, let's find a toy shop." You know. Dev, go on.
When that image first came out, my friend joked that Sadiq and Nick were working against their cousin Tony.
Well, yeah,
because they're all
a lot of Khans involved. You know, you need a can-do attitude, I'm going to say, when it comes to wrestling. But, okay, let's come on to the shows that we do have coming up this weekend, because I'm going to be honest, especially with what we've just been speaking about, I'm going to try to make sure I catch All Out live, you know. So they're not clashing. WWE is going to be on its typical really late to watch. AEW is now going to be at a reasonable time. It's going to be on like 8 p.m. UK time, and it's like, so I'm gonna try to catch this live. I've probably seen. Do AEW have pay-per-views every month this year? Because I think I've probably seen 2 of them.
I would say about every few months.
Yeah, maybe like every second month. They definitely had
more frequent than others, but yeah.
Forbidden Door and All In and Double or Nothing. I've seen like Double or Nothing. I didn't see Forbidden Door because it's annoying. But anyway, let's go over what we've got coming up. Let's rattle through AEW, and then we can go on to WrestlePalooza.
I will say this right now before we do the AEW preview. They did Dynamite last night, and it was their first show in Toronto. Bear in mind that for the last 3 or 4 weeks they've been at the 2300 Arena, the former ECW arena, and they decided to call their show that was at Toronto last night September to Remember, which is an ECW reference. Why the hell didn't they do that at the ECW arena? That's just yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't remember. That's the problem.
That's an oversight, huh?
Yeah.
An oversight. Yeah. It was very jarring.
So we had November to remember. Then we had December to Dismember, which was the worst pay-per-view perhaps of all time. And now we've had September to remember, which it turns out they forgot. So, right. So I will forget the pre-show matches because once again it's like 8-woman tornado tailgate brawl, whatever that means. Actually, there doesn't look like there's tons of multi-man matches on this. So
no,
that's
it's
interesting.
quite a truncated card for AEW, actually.
Yeah, so we have Cope and Christian, Edge and Christian against FTR. And I did see a thing on Twitter where Dax said, if I lose, I'll retire. That can't be real.
He didn't say that on TV, so I don't.
Yeah, it was on like Twitter though. And I was like, he can't.
No, it's not on TV.
Yeah.
I haven't said it officially on the show. So,
but this is in Canada, isn't it?
Yeah.
Surely Edge and Christian have got to win.
Yep. Am I right in thinking it's not for the tag titles? The tag titles are with the Hurts.
No, none of the champions.
Yeah, they're not the champs.
I think that's I think that would add a layer of romance to it, to them in their sort of hometown, and that could then feasibly main event the show.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And the poster for it, interestingly, is that match. So, but I don't believe that's lined up to be the main event. But it could end up that way. I do think there is a possibility of that.
Yeah.
Then we do have the Hurt Syndicate versus Ricochet. And who?
GOA,
is this the Gorillas of something? No, Gates of Agony. Okay. Right. Bishop Khan again. Or however it's pronounced, and Toa Leona. I don't know who they are, if I'm honest. Right, I recognise the name Gates of Agony, but
they're good. They've improved. They're pretty decent. Toa Leona's like actually got a bit of a that sort of Islander sort of style wrestler.
Oh
and all
yeah,
that sort of
okay.
stuff.
I know.
I think he's very underrated personally. He had a good match with Lashley.
Is he a Tongan?
I think so. And Bishop Korn is I don't know what descendancy he's of, but they're an underrated team. They've been getting better, and this sort of team they're doing with Ricochet's been pretty entertaining. But that's because Ricochet's very entertaining, quite frankly. I think should this be just a straight down the middle sort of affair, I actually think they should win this over her Syndicate, who don't really need the win, and MVP's in the match as well, and it's kind of like, well, he can take the loss, you know. Unless, of course, he's being this legit dickhead backstage, in which case he doesn't want to put anyone over.
That doesn't work for him, brother.
Okay, so has MVP actually wrestled in AEW yet?
Once.
Oh, once. Okay.
Yeah, in a trios match. Yeah.
Okay.
I did see a rumor about Keith Lee maybe joining the Hurt Syndicate.
Ooh.
And Keith Lee was on Twitter being very nice to a fan, I think, who had said something nice about him, and just said, you know, my comeback will come when it comes. So he is talking in those terms, which is better than it was at one point, because he was, you know, has been very unwell.
I think I know how to translate that. My comeback will come when my contract ends and I go back to WWE. He is an incredible, like, obviously he's had health problems though, didn't he? Like, didn't he have some like heart thing as well? Like, and to be honest, if he's good to go, then great. But if you've got stuff like that, it's like, if you can retire, don't take the risk. Basically, he's a bigger guy. Not saying that in a bad way, but if you got that combined with heart stuff, but if you just like remember, he was dominant in NXT. He came in, and that moment with Brock. And even when he came into AEW, it's like, oh my god, this is going to be a big deal. They put him with Swerve, and Swerve just outshone him immediately. Like, and then he kind of vanished. So it's been kind of sad for Keith Lee's career there.
He had his one viral moment and then like disappeared.
What?
One viral.
He had his one viral moment
in
when
AEW.
he flung Adam Cole into space.
Well, that was in
it
NXT.
AEW or
Right?
NXT?
That was in
That was
NXT.
NXT.
That was NXT. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like they, and again, like in this is one of the things in AEW. He was. They lumped him into a tag team. Swerve was clearly like the more in focus of that tag team.
It wasn't at the time, though. It wasn't at that moment. You really go back to that point. I don't think there was any sort of outshining or anything like that happened at that point. It was just that they were in an angle where it was like the two were sort of brought together as like two people that had like similar enemies. In I think it was Ricky Starks and someone else that they were teaming with at the time, or Powerhouse Hobbs or something like that.
Sure.
And it was like that angle. That's what brought them together, and they end up winning the tag titles together and going from there.
What were they called? Swerve in your glory.
Swerve in our glory, wasn't it?
Swerve in our glory hole, yeah.
And then, but as you said, they reached the end of that team where they lost to the Acclaimed, and then that sort of off from there. And don't remember when they did the breakup angle that Swerve had those two goons. One of them was the new Brock Lesnar, supposedly.
Who was that guy? Was that
Parker Boudreaux?
Parker Boudreaux,
yeah. And the other guy that had tattoos all over his face and all over his body that I don't think ever got named. I don't remember his name at all. But that was the thing, and Swerve had to really get out of that to then get over and then start getting really.
But this is what I mean. So the style of when you put a team together like that, where you've got very different styles and stuff, Swerve was the exciting one, and so he would get the hot tags and stuff, or he'd get beaten up, and then like Keith Lee would come in and do stuff, but then all of the flash and stuff was Swerve, and then afterwards Keith Lee was just floating nowhere.
Okay.
So anyway, let's see what else we've got for All Out. So we've got Mercedes and Riho. So Riho's being fed to Mercedes. I think pretty much the story here.
What did you say, Dave? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I just don't really care about this one. It's Riho's Riho. I just no disrespect to either of them. They're both good, but it's a rudimentary defense, this one, I think, isn't it?
Is this Riho's first match back in quite a long time? Is that right?
Yeah.
It's not been around, but I don't know.
Right.
Riho dips in and out. Every story of Riho's since like 2021 has been Riho's returned. Then she'll have a match, and then we won't see her. And it's like
first AEW Women's Champion. Remember that?
Yeah.
Returns, loses the title match, leaves.
Yeah. Okay, then we've got Darby and Moxley coffin match.
Coffin match. I can't.
This match, I bet it's going to be crazy. Go on.
I can't really see how this one's going to go, because in one side you want sort of Moxley to sort of get his comeuppance, but they sort of regenerated the Death Rider story by bringing Daniel Garcia into it, and so he's probably going to get involved and help Moxley win, which is a bit of a shame, because it's like, oh, do we really need the Death Riders around more? So there's it's difficult to sort of, if it wasn't for the fact that they've just done that with Garcia, I would be saying that Darby should be winning this.
Yeah. I mean, an interesting thing with Darby is like, are they ever gonna like elevate if he doesn't get the win like here? But even if he does get the win, he's had some big wins in AEW, and it's like, is he going to be a world champion? Like, what's the plan? Are they going to, like, we'll get onto the world title picture in a second, but where does Darby fit into this? Because there was such a build-up after a long, Hangman waited 2+ years, or maybe even 2.5, 3 years to get the title back. And it's just like, well, it can't end anytime soon, so Darby just has to have these high-profile upper mid-card feuds, and that's that really. Well, next up we have MJF, Mark Briscoe, and this apparently, didn't know this, is a table and thumbtacks match.
Go on, Dev.
I will say this. I think MJF will win, because they're trying to build something with him and Hammerstone for from MLW, because they Alex Hammerstone from MLW.
Yeah.
Him and MJF used to be a tag team called the Dynasty.
Is
or
Hammerstone? Yeah. They were.
He's not in AEW.
No, but they cut a there was a recent promo. I don't know which show it was on, where MJF was like, "You're Major League. I'm All Elite. Together we'll be a dynasty." Like, it was a very recent promo.
On AEW?
It was either on AEW or MLW.
Well,
where MJF said
Sounds
that.
like it's going to be MLW. I don't think it's been on AEW.
They let MJF go back to MLW.
He's done like a little thing. It was continuing the feud with Mystico. I think he was on there and tagged him there.
Okay.
And it was a little shot there.
Okay, well...
I don't see Hammerstone getting involved, but I really hope Briscoe wins this. I think he needs it. It's just like, it's a clean little feud ender, that one, that's that bit feud. And MJF could still go for the titles. He's still got his contract shot, hasn't he? So he's still going to be in the main event, whatever happens. So
yeah,
give Briscoe a bit of a shine.
Who is the current Ring of Honor World Champion?
Bandido.
Oh, of course, yeah. Because I was going to say, you say about like Briscoe needs this, but I don't see that they're doing anything with Briscoe like ever again in the future. They gave him a Ring of Honor title, and obviously there's the tragedy that his brother passed, and I just don't think they're going to put him over MJF, because MJF they're going to use that he's kind of still needs to be in the top picture in AEW's future at some point. And I don't.
That's my point. He'd still be in that top picture because he's got the contract thing that they got out of at Forbidden Door by him sort of through him kidnapping and starting to set fire to Briscoe. That Page agreed to like have it as a regular title defense rather than it being his contract signing. So they've got an out to let Briscoe get the win there.
Yeah, contracts like that have an effect of making the person who holds it Teflon to any booking, so they can lose. Like Edge, before he cashed in the original Money in the Bank, he lost and lost because he was.
Well, thankfully, it's not a Money in the Bank style cash in now.
No, that's right.
Yeah, but Tony Khan does the thing where the contract holder has to declare it at least a week before.
And it's that, like, are you on board with that, Dave? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so next up we've got Timeless Tony Storm, Fatal 4-Way for the Women's World Championship. Jamie Hayter, Statlander, and Thekla.
Yeah, I think it's pronounced Thekla.
I knew I was saying it wrong. It's just one of these things where as I got... Guys, on a thing that I did yesterday, this is completely unrelated, wasn't Geek Battle or anything. Wasn't Extreme Improv, it was for someone else. Yeah. I meant to say mathematician, and I pronounced it as mathematiti. And I was just like, oh shit. I was completely lost after this as well. So my pronunciation is not good.
Sounds like a new NXT tag team.
Well, it's because it's mathematician, and I just sort of like got lost like halfway through the word. I was like mathematician. I was like, oh god, I just said mathematiti. Right, but anyway. So I don't see Tony Storm losing this here. Like,
no.
Other than Mercedes in the women's division, I don't really see anyone quite at that level that would actually take the title, where it wouldn't just be when she's going to lose this back to Tony Storm, or when are they going to give Mercedes the world title.
Having said that, though, in this match, I think the one that's got the most chance to do it is Thekla, because she's... I don't know if you've been watching the show just in the last few months since she debuted. Her presence on TV has been very impressive. Yeah. She's got a real charisma about her, and she's done it like simply from being in ring and she hasn't really done any promos. Literally, like yesterday on Dynamite was the first time I'd heard her speak. Just a very simple call out of Storm, because Tony's been saying this thing. I want to find the woman who's going to murder me. I want to find the one who's going to take me out entirely. And Declan was simply getting on the mic saying, "Tony, your search is over. It's me," or whatever, or where she said. Very simple, very effective. She's got the little group, the Triangle of Madness, which is a terrible name for the group, but it's an effective group that's in there. They're really over. They've got a great presence.
Wait, they've got
I
a group
wouldn't-
called the Triangle of Madness. Didn't
Yeah, that's the
AEW
guy.
used to have the Death Triangle?
Yeah, he's obsessed with triangles.
They need a third triangle to complete this
The
triangle.
scariest shape.
Yeah.
But if Tekla won this, I wouldn't be surprised, and I might actually almost verge to say I think they probably should pull the trigger on her now, because she has got that presence, and she is like somewhat over with the crowd. And Tony doesn't have to take the fall in this one because it's a four-way.
Yeah,
Right.
true. That is a fair point. Dev, did you have something on this?
Yeah, I think Thecla's got everything, and I agree with what David said about Thecla's character work. It's weird because even without doing a promo, every single one of her movements in the ring, have character.
Yeah.
Like Orton's Power Slam is Orton's Power Slam. Everything she does is her version of the move. It's different. Like every move she does, it's things we've seen before, but done in a way only she can do it.
Right.
And that's why, I think that she's gonna win the title.
Yeah. Okay. So next up we have Adam Page, Kyle Fletcher, world title. Now I don't know what the listing here. If I just bring it up here a second, I don't know why this is in the middle. Do they just really not have the faith in Fletcher to be in the main event? Is that because we were saying earlier about will it be Edge and Christian? But what is this meant to indicate?
I don't know. It's tricky, isn't it? I don't know why they've done that. But it's probably in the order of. It might be in the order of what was confirmed at what point.
Yeah, I was going to say because Eddie Kingston's right near the bottom, isn't he? So that's only recently been announced.
Yeah.
Okay, fair play. So yeah, predictions for this: Hangman's winning, surely.
Hangman's winning. I've really enjoyed the build up to this one. They've done the sort of. It's something They haven't mentioned it, but that this is something that I think could have been noted as something that they could do as a tradition for All Out. Because last year, do you remember that Bryan Danielson won obviously at Wembley and then went on to defend against Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, sorry. And that's one he was TNT champion at the time. That was his reasoning for sort of calling Danielson out and saying, "I'm TNT champion. I should be the number one contender." And this is the same situation. It's Kyle Fletcher who's TNT champion, putting himself forward for the title match. And that's something I think they probably could do something with as an annual tradition from this point on. Yeah. And the fact that they've done this as an alternate decision for this match, because the original booking was going to be Wardlow versus Hangman.
Oh gosh!
Apparently, and he got injured
on his comeback.
For the door. Tore his bicep or something. So he's come in, made one appearance or two appearances, and gone again. But they've done a really good job in building Fletcher for this, because he did the angle where he took out Omega. He did the same move to Hangman on Dynamite last night. So they've sort of done this whole sort of thing, building him up, and they're also building this stipulation that no one's going to interfere on either side. So it's going to be all one-on-one, and I think as organically as possibly it could be, Fletcher's been the most well-built character over the last year or so, I think. So remember last year at Wembley, he was in a random 12-man tag match or something in the Wembley pre-show.
Yeah.
Just over a year later, he's challenging for the title.
Wow.
Yeah, Dev?
With Kyle Fletcher, he has grown like crazy. And regarding the whole TNT title, being able to challenge for the world title thing, didn't TNA do that with Option C or whatever it was called?
Yeah, what was it? It was like some sort of cash, or like you can sort of gamble your title.
You can trade for title for a title shot.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, the weird thing with AEW's titles is that isn't the AEW Unified Continental whatever, doesn't that feel like it's like a higher ranked mid-card title than the TNT one? Because it was obvious, because TNT and World were the only singles men's titles that existed. Then they added another two. Then they unified them, and Okada's the champion. Like, why isn't this Hangman Okada? That's a much bigger main event for All Out if they'd worked to it.
They could build that one for Double or Nothing.
They could do. I mean, and they've got that as an option many, many months away. Go on, Dev.
Because isn't the TNT title literally in the name the TV title.
Well, yeah.
It's literally named after the channel.
Yeah.
So clearly it was below the Intercontinental or the literal one call it the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, but it's got a bit more of sorry, Deb. It's got a bit more of a history to it, though. I think. It was the second singles title there. That's what it is. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
But yeah, it's kind of like in TNA though, where the X Division title, it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits, and there was no reason because clearly that was the most interesting title in TNA. But then they suddenly brought in the Global Championship, and it's like this seems a joke, and yet it now seemingly outranks the title that's been there forever. But yeah. Anyway, let's quickly wrap this up so we can get on to WrestlePalooza. Big Bill, Eddie Kingston. If Kingston, I haven't seen in a long time, but not that I've been watching AEW super closely. He's
not been in action for like 14 months. So.
He's probably going to get this win here. Go on, Dev.
Yeah, Eddie can't return. Wait, the return should have been saved for the actual show. Why did they announce it?
Boost ticket sales.
Yeah, maybe.
They should have just said Big Bill Open Challenge. Eddie Kingston return. Match of the night.
Like AEW used to be all about surprise debuts, surprise returns, and it feels like
the Jokers
massively dialed back on that in the last year or so. Possibly because they don't have the flow of people coming in without it being that they're taking people that have been future endeavored and stuff like this. A return could have been an interesting thing. And then lastly, go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I think there's a way of having the best of both worlds where you can promote the return without actually giving the game away. And there's evidence of that with how AEW originally brought back CM Punk because they signposted it for weeks so that by the time we got to the first dance, everyone knew it, but they hadn't put a graphic up. They hadn't announced him. The WWE literally just did the same thing with AJ Lee's return. Everybody knew that she was coming, but they still held it and just let the signposts do their work. So it's a shame that they couldn't have done something similar.
I still think they purposely put out that, we'll let WWE shop suddenly say, you can get her t-shirt, and then quickly remove it. But
quite possibly.
Anyway, so then we've got the three-way for the WWE Unified Intercontinental Championship belt.
This is random.
The AEW.
Who's in it?
So Okada, Takeshita, and Mascara Dorado.
So it was a really entertaining match that Mascara Dorado had with Beast Mortos, because Beast Mortos was in it, and he's one of the best wrestlers on the roster. But he had a really entertaining match. But yeah, this is like Sesame Street. One of these things is not like the other. Why is Mascara Dorado this luchador in there with Okada and Takeshita, who are like strong style? It's very unusual.
Dev?
It literally feels like AEW saw the Fatal 4-Way on the Triple H show with all the North American guys and Dr. Wagner and did the same thing in AEW.
Well, it could be, but
it's a match he has no right to be in.
Yeah.
Again, Okada's not losing it here, is he?
No, he's not losing.
Is there anything where? Yeah, is there anyone that's going to... Okada's going to take the fall, did you say?
No, Dorada's there to take the fall.
Right, all of this, I feel like, from my perspective at least, but like I say, I haven't been watching it, it's like, I feel like all of the predictions I've given are like the safe ones, without anything majorly surprising, but I think they'll probably do something unexpected.
It's going to be weird how they go... Sorry, Dave, it's going to be weird how they go with Takeshita from this point on, because... Obviously, they're doing this little bit of a rivalry between the two of them being in the same faction and everything. That's been going for a little while. Because when Okada came in before he come in, and when Callis introduced Sketchy into the family, he literally said, "This guy is better than this guy, better than this guy, better than Okada." And that was before Okada even joined the company. And then suddenly he joins the company and he's in the family. There's no mention of that. It's like, also, Okada's the greatest wrestler of all time, all that sort of stuff. So it's interesting to see how they're going to make that match happen, especially as Takeshita is going to be challenging for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship soon. It's because he won the G1 Climax. So so where they go with that, if he wins the big title there in New Japan, it's like they're going to have to book him really, really carefully, because New Japan won't want their champion losing much on TV if indeed does become champion. And I wonder whether or not this will end up being the finals of the Continental Classic at the end of the year, Okada and Takeshita. That could be a final. I think that could be where they blow it off.
Yeah. Okay, so the last match on the card, so long, right? Is the 4-way ladder match for AEW Tag Team Championship. So, Brody King and Bandito versus the Young Bucks versus Jet Speed versus the Don Callis family. So,
between the Bucks and Bandito, I don't want Bandito to sort of lose this early. But at the same time, the Bucks winning the bit of power back might be an interesting.
So something happened where they got $500,000 and they're not broke anymore, right?
Yeah, the one thing, even though one of them lost it on gambling or something. but yeah, they're doing a lot of matches on Dynamite where the winning team all win like a share of $500,000 or insert amount here. Suddenly, like they have to put these big stakes on these matches suddenly for some reason. But yeah, they've done that thing there, and they did the thing where they paid the pyro guy off to give them their big entrance. It was just on Dynamite yesterday, and it was the most ridiculous over pyroed entrance you've ever seen. So they are just spending money now. They've got it. They're spending. They're probably going to end up being broke again. So them getting the titles probably is their last sort of like last gasp of getting some power back.
They should bring in Baron Corbin to be their life coach, just about how to turn things around. You know. Okay, so good. Right. AEW in the bag. Let's go over WrestlePalooza in the last few minutes. But one thing I just spotted here on Twitter is Pat McAfee has announced that John Cena versus Brock Lesnar will kick off WrestlePalooza, which apparently
so Brock can go home.
Brock wants to go home.
Okay, I was going to say, just on the AEW front thing here, with 13 matches on the card, even though some of them are pre-show, are they trying to make it so that if AEW overruns, they're going to start with Brock and Cena?
Well, that's what they did at All In, wasn't it? It ran long, and they were saying it was to make sure they ran against the NXT show that was on that day. So it's possibly what they're doing, but it is bold to start with Cena and Brock. That's very bold.
But yeah, no, that's a great point. Brock's like, look, I'm going home, so he wants to get out. He wants to get out the car park first, basically. Okay, so let's go over these matches here. So we now know John Cena versus Brock Lesnar is going to start. I don't see, I've said that the last couple, Cena versus Cody, Cena versus Logan, I thought were great matches. I think this is going to be nothing that we haven't seen from them before. Yeah, I think it's going to be a few suplexes. Cena's going to mount a comeback. Like, can Brock
doesn't
even
win though?
Sorry, I think like if Lesnar comes back after 2 years and then loses, but then it's seen as like third from penultimate pay-per-view.
That's what happened when Lesnar came back after many years and faced John Cena in 2012. He lost.
Well, true, but that was a different reason. That was Vince being like, "You were somewhere else, so now we've got to break you down instead of capitalize on you." It's like whenever they'd bring in a WCW guy, they'd just job out Vader or something. It's like, what are you doing? You know, Dev.
See, with this match, and because like every Cena match has been different, like from not what we expected. Like the Logan Paul match was a finisher spam of his history and stuff. I want this match to be like an MMA match where Lesnar comes in like an MMA guy. Him. Yeah, and Cena's like literally trying to fight him.
Yeah.
Yeah, by wrestling. So it's like wrestling versus MMA.
See, when they did that those years ago, wasn't that like to be honest, it wasn't. I didn't like the match just because it was so uncompetitive. But it was. You have to give it to them on the originality of it. Just like John Cena had like 4 moves that he managed to mount a comeback, and then it was just suplex 17 times or something.
Yeah.
So it's like you say, David. Where can they go that they haven't been already?
Yeah.
We've just said 3 different times that they've done the Extreme Rules match. Cena wins. They had that one where Brock squashed him. They've done a few others here and there. I can't remember it, but yeah, many of the other one-on-one.
What if they go back to like their first match they did in like 2000-ish?
What?
Who remembers that?
OVW or something?
Probably OVW or
prototype.
the pay-per-view one.
Oh well,
No,
as long as
Lesnar's first title defense after Mania, wasn't it? When he beat Angle and Cena, but
okay.
I don't remember.
I was going to say, as long as Brock hits a shooting star, we'll be okay. Okay, so
Cena will hit a shooting star. That's what
Good. Yeah.
Okay, do we think that Cena is in his last few matches? Is he going to suddenly pull out like a moonsault or a swanton or something that's just?
Yes.
I think he is. I think there's going to be something where we're like, we've never seen John Cena do this high flying. Like we'll see him do like a blockbuster or a leg drop off the top.
I've never seen him do a spear, so it's gonna be that natural and going in.
I was just going to say it's all been sprinklings of his previous feuds, isn't it? Previous opponents, with Michael Cole spectacularly miscalling them as like a Roman Reigns spear, which was clearly an edge spear. And he did an angle slam, and he was like, "Oh, a backdrop." And so like.
Okay.
Frankly, I think Cena will win. I hope he will win. I don't think I'm going to watch the match. I just don't want to watch Lesnar.
Sure.
And to be honest, I'm quite happy with the last time I watched Lesnar being that absolute dog shit on SmackDown with R-Truth. Did you watch the promo with him and R-Truth?
Yeah.
It is that was the worst promo I've seen for a long, long time. Well, and that can be my send-off to Brock Lesnar.
Well, there is a reason why Brock Lesnar needed Paul Heyman. It's like ever splitting him from him. And okay, so I was going to say, this is where they should. I've been saying it for the last year. They need to bring out Kurt Angle. They should have done it already, but they can do this on the night where Kurt Angle has some role or involvement because he's relevant to Lesnar, he's relevant to Cena, and they could do something interesting. But I think Brock is going to win. That's my prediction here, because even just in terms of future investment, it's like if Cena's on the way out, it's like, well, Brock's going to be in Riyadh.
So you're telling me because Cena's going out, he has to put over the young upstart Brock Lesnar?
Yeah. No. Well, they gave Brock Lesnar the win over Undertaker. Like, they could have given it to anyone to make that person.
But that was years ago when he was a regular. He's only just come back.
Brock has never been a regular.
What future plans do you have with Lesnar involved? What can he possibly do now? He already did the whole thing where he won the Royal Rumble, which was like the worst Rumble ending for years ago, when he was like, "Oh, we'll do the double title thing with Roman," and then he's another one. He's done it. There's no reason to bring him back. He's done everything.
He is smelling that Riyadh money. Like, Brock is going to be there until at least WrestleMania.
Put him in Riyadh then, because I won't be watching that show anyway. So kill two birds with one stone.
Okay. Now, let's move on from here. So if that's the opening match, I think the main event will probably be AJ. So we'll come to that last. So next up, we've got Cody and Drew, and Cody's going to win. We'll see. I bet it'll be a good match, though.
I think Cody will win, but it wouldn't surprise me if they pulled the trigger on Drew, because if the rumors are to be believed that they want WrestlePalooza, which is still a shit name, but if they want WrestlePalooza to be like a WrestleMania equivalent scale event, they're going to need a big moment. So it wouldn't surprise me if Drew won. I think Cody will win.
Yeah, go on, Dev.
Cody wins with a flash kick.
Well, Dev, you've got ahead of me here. This is what I was going to say. So Cody obviously is filming Street Fighter. He's playing the character Guile. I was going to actually go with the direction of Cody's going to have a new move called a Sonic Boom. I don't know how it's going to work, but he's going to have something.
I know you said this on Geek last night, but is this a potential reason that Cody might lose because he is filming this movie at the moment and he might not be around for a few weeks or months?
Yeah, although he might do what.
I know him and Roman are going to be flying back and forth, but again, Roman's not on a schedule at the moment. He's obviously sticking over there unless he comes back to help the Usos. I don't know, but
Yeah, because everyone's in Australia, so might be a way to write him out.
Yeah, might be a way to put him out there.
I mean, yeah, it could be. But then, obviously, perhaps the Street Fighter thing came up and it's like, oh, it's more of a commitment, or they might be still tweaking the script, and Cody could literally be like, Guile isn't going to be in this movie much if I'm not out there, so I need to be out there. And that could be a real thing. And so they could have him drop it, but I'd like Drew to win it, but not here. I just feel like this doesn't feel, unless that does actually close the show.
I feel he's going to retain, but like he will be like taken out afterwards by Drew just to write him off.
But then what do you do with the title? Oh, just let it...
Just
let it hover. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, let's come on. Usos versus The Vision. Bron, basically.
Can we talk about the sponsorship for this match before we talk about anything else?
What is
the sponsorship for this match? So it's going to be the world's first EMF friendly wrestling match.
What does
So
that
they're
mean?
going to have stickers on the turnbuckles that are going to protect them from 5G and the evil that 5G might corrupt them.
What is this?
Totally
What is this company?
I can't remember the name.
They're a company
of
that
it.
shows like this anti.
They sell
5G stickers,
and it's conspiracy theory about 5G is going to like corrupt your soul, and buy these stickers and it will protect you.
See, someone put that in the group chat today, and I thought it was a joke. That's why I said
I didn't even read it.
Right,
Yeah.
anyway.
I thought I said about the flat earthers thing, and I mentioned
Yeah, I
AJ
saw
Styles,
that.
but the that's mad. EMF
Yeah.
as well.
Isn't it mad?
That sounds like a discount like furniture store. EMF. What's going on there?
Yeah, maybe there'll be a submission move where one of them holds a phone up to the other with 5G, and they're like, "No, it's the 5G rays."
Yeah.
Wait, so
The
what?
reason Bron Breaker's even more crazy.
Yeah.
So is
Maybe
it
that's
something
why
that
he does
the
this all the
5G
time.
is going to cook your brain sort of thing?
Basically,
Yes.
yeah. It's a lot
So
of
does that mean that
tinfoil
cell
hat
phones
wearing
just don't work in the ring?
nonsense. I don't know the logistics of what they're going to do.
No, they're placebo. They're placebo. They give you these little patches that tell you they protect you from those things when they don't.
Or maybe Paul Heyman could come to the ring with his big old cell phone he used to have in the 80s.
Yes, yes.
That will like go against it because that's not 5G. Like, I can do this absolutely fine.
Or just go full on trigger happy TV. You remember the massive...
Hello!
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Jake
watching
Clark-
Usos.
Jake
No,
Clark-
Isn't there like a problem in this
Max
where they're
Johnson
like,
with him.
we're protecting the wrestlers, and everyone in the audience is just like, but we're not protected, we're dying of this. Wow, I had no idea. This is crazy.
That's where they find that they've put silver foil hats under everyone's chairs
Yes.
to put on during the match
Yeah,
to make
yeah,
sure they're okay.
Do you know, remember like with Al Snow, they'd give all of like the foam heads to everyone? They should absolutely give everyone like silver hats to have a flat earth like sponsored match where everyone's just sat there with the silver hats with the cone on it. Okay.
So was it called EDM, did you say?
EMF, I think.
EMF.
Sorry. Because I misread it as EDM, and I thought we were going to have another one of those matches that Bray Wyatt had with LA Knight, you know, that one with all the lights and the stuff. I was like, it's going to have an EDM match, brilliant.
Yeah, like that's a Mountain Dew Lights Out match, wasn't it?
Yeah, oh, the Mountain Dew, yeah, that was it.
Oh my gosh. Right, okay, so then we have Io and Vaquer for the vacant Women's World Championship.
I just noticed we just talked about the sponsor. We didn't talk anything about
we
the
haven't.
match.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. Move
Like,
on.
Extreme Improv is meant to be on in a few minutes, so yeah, who cares?
Sorry, was that Io versus Vaquer?
Yeah.
I can't wait for this one. This is going to be brilliant.
Yeah, I'm
It's
looking
gonna be a
forward to
brilliant
it. Yeah.
I'm
Two
going
best
with
wrestlers
Stephanie
in the
just because they've not done it.
Although I want to sound weird, where I just want them. I want them to get this match over with, so we can get Asuka versus Stephanie.
Well,
What they're building up to.
I wonder whether Asuka's going to interfere on Io's behalf. So they could do a thing where Asuka costs Stephanie the match and Io doesn't realise. So then you've got I think Stephanie could be
That's great.
saved until Mania, and you could belt her up, maybe opposite Rhea Ripley, because that's a
Win
huge
the Royal
match
Rumble.
for Mania. Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I think it'd be match of the weekend for me.
I agree with that idea, and I think that sounds great. The obvious thing is they didn't know Naomi was getting pregnant and dropping the title, so this might just be a acceleration of plans, really.
Yeah, they also could do the same angle with a slight deviation on it, in that EO is in on it, and that they are actually all like back together as damage control or whatever they're going to call themselves now.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, this is likely to be probably the best match on the card, just in
100%.
terms of 100%. Because we do come to something where I genuinely don't know how it's going to go, because we've got Seth and Becky versus Punk and the return after 10 years of AJ Lee. And that
Punk and AJ can't lose this one, surely.
Yeah, you can't lose on a return,
you can't.
especially if your name's AJ Lee.
Well, then Brock isn't losing, then, guys. It's a return. But
Yeah, but this is slightly different, this one. Isn't it?
Okay. Well, yeah, like Punk obviously lost the title. AJ's returning. It makes sense. Everything makes sense for them to win. And all it means is that from there, AJ can now be like, if she pins, because it has to be her pinning Becky. That
I think
now I'm gonna.
tap. I think it's a tap out.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because that was a finishing move, wasn't it? It was like Black
Yeah,
Widow.
the Anna Black Widow.
Yeah, I know, but it's still a thing to actually to actually make a champion tap. Like,
yeah, but Becky's being the cowardly heel at the moment, was sort of like backfighting. I've got to say, AJ took that manhandle slam like a fucking champ.
That was a great bump. That was a great bump.
So yeah, where do we lead to? What is the next pay-per-view after this? Like,
I have no idea.
I
They'll
don't know.
probably schedule it when they figure out.
It
what
might be
AEW
Survivor
doing.
Series, but if it can't be Survivor Series, that's November.
November, isn't it?
So
No idea
September,
what's on it.
whatever. Oh, is it Halloween Havoc? Are they doing Halloween? Is that on the main roster?
Aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
But either way,
That's an NXT one, isn't it?
No, it used to be, but I'm sure I saw something about it being.
Yeah.
I think we talked about it, didn't we? Because the Wyatts now having a Firefly Funhouse attraction, so they could do all sorts of hideous tie-ins with a whole Wyatt-based pay-per-view.
So NXT have got
God.
No Mercy, and then Halloween Havoc. Oh, it says NXT Halloween Havoc. So
Is it Halloween Havoc? Oh, no. There's one before. There's the Australia show.
Crown
okay.
Jewel.
In
Crown
October.
Jewel in Perth, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Right, so so AJ will get an Intercontinental title shot out of this. I think will be the main thing. I don't think it leads to Punk getting the world title shot until WrestleMania. They're gonna 3 years later. They're actually gonna do that match they wanted to do, when Punk first returned.
You think they'll stretch Punk Seth till Mania?
Oh yeah, they stretched Drew and Punk across an entire year, and they technically have, they've swung back round to it, but they have stretched Seth Punk since Punk's re-debut.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the Drew Punk thing did have Punk's injury taken into account, but I see I do get your point. It is that thing we've said before that Triple H has this thing of, we've got to end the story at this show over here, and we got to make sure we get there without any problems whatsoever. Injuries, be damned. We'll go. I've got to make sure we get this stuff. Oh, where are the MFTs? Let's get them involved too, because everyone loves them. Just everything.
Okay, guys. So,
where's Jacob Fatu? Where's he gone?
Disappeared.
Just mentioned the MFTs and suddenly thought, where's he?
Well, it's just the bloodline became the NWO Black and White to the Red and Black,
Wolfpack.
and when it was the Wolf Pack, and now it is. Do you remember when the
literal
Nexus
Wolfpack.
became the core?
Oh yeah.
It's that. This is the NWO where Scott Norton and Virgil are debating who should be the leader, basically.
The B team, yeah.
Yeah. Right, guys, I'll quickly check to see if there's any late breaking news, but otherwise we'll begin to wrap things up here.
Did you see Tony Schiavone told everybody to go fuck themselves? Did everyone see that?
No.
What was that about?
It was about the All Out card, and I think it was on his podcast. And so the host asked him, like, "What about people who are critical of the All Out being quite a weak card?" And he's like, "Well, let me tell you something. Like, let's get a critic in here to pitch their own card, and after that, they can go fuck themselves."
Yeah.
So you can't be critical nowadays.
Well, you can't be critical these days, can you? Just ask Jimmy Kimmel.
Right. Indeed.
No, I'm not seeing any breaking news here.
No.
That's makes a change, doesn't it?
Well, no,
Yeah,
usually it happens 10 minutes after
When
the
we go
show.
off the air, then there'll be a big breaking news.
The most interesting thing,
Hogan Andre will happen.
Hogan Andre will happen. There's speculation from this thing on Raw. They're saying about if Jey Uso's gonna turn heel. The thing with like Jimmy saying, "I don't see the Ula Fala," and it's just like Jesus. Again, like the bloodline thing has so run its course. Unless they're bringing Rikishi back, I'm disinterested in it all. So let's find out where we can get find everyone on the socials. Ian, where can the people find thee?
You find me right here and next time.
Okay, good. Dev, where can the people find you?
You can find me on TikTok and Twitch under the name FWDAT. And my wrestling recommendation this week is NXT Homecoming, where the first 15 minutes of the show was better than anything I've seen in wrestling for the last 2 years.
I need to watch this. I haven't watched it, so
It was amazing.
Is it just returns of people?
Everyone coming back to full sail.
Okay.
It's Triple H and Shawn Michaels stroking their egos. That's basically what it is.
Oh, okay. So was was this the thing where they had like a little face to face about like I should come back and run it, and Shawn was like,
yeah, and then Regal came out.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, okay. Now, anyway, Dave, where can the people find you?
You can find me David Joseph Green basically everywhere, also LAPD Improv, and on Xstreamed in a few moments. And my wrestling recommendation is, I think I mentioned it earlier, Beast Mottos Mascara Dorado from last night's Dynamite.
Okay. My name is David Pstansky. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Pstansky, spelled Pustansky. Follow Slam Jam Championship Wrestling Show on all of the socials. Maybe even on Kick. I can't remember if it does have a Kick channel, but I'm not streaming to it tonight. Yeah, on everything. But my wrestling recommendation is, I don't know, like read Drew McIntyre's autobiography. I read it a few months ago, and that was interesting. Now, so with this, until next time, stay safe, always stay extreme. You Slam Jam Bronies, and till next time, we're off.